Well, good morning, beautiful, and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus, where we're going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together, enjoying some beauty on the inside and some beauty on the outside. Sorry, just trying to tweak these controls a tiny bit while we get going. So, how was your week this week? I cannot tell you, I don't know how your week went, but let me tell you, mine was so fun. So, we caught a parakeet at work, and then the parakeet needed a girlfriend, and we have had all kinds of fun with our work pets. And it is just a joy to see, how in the scripture where it talks about God taking care of the birds of the air and lilies of the field, when you actually get to be like a tiny microcosm part of that, cool thing. And it's so nice and delightful just to hear them kind of chirping a little bit in the background. It has really elevated the office experience. Okay, enough about me. So tell me in the chat how you are doing this past week. How did you do with your verses? Did you try any new fun makeup things? Where are you coming from? All the things. So just get in there in the chat and do that. So my name is Wendy. I should have started with that. And let's see what else we got. Oh, today we're going to be talking about how to wear Afro Galactic Blues eyeshadow on hooded eyes. So this is going to be for those who are over 40 or not. But specifically, we're going to be targeting the needs for individuals who have hooded eyes. Now, if you don't have hooded eyes, minor tweak, and you can use this eye technique as well. So here's what we're going to do. Go grab your shadow palettes. You're going to need blues, a couple of different shade variations, light to dark. So go grab your shadow palette, grab your brushes, grab the rest of your makeup, grab some false lashes, and get on back here. Let's get going. A little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. Voices at me, can't wait. All right, and I got a shout out of good morning. Good morning, Rachel. Nice to have all of you. And I see a bunch of you in here, but you're being very quiet. So I know it's been kind of quiet the last couple of weeks, but that's okay. That's okay. So our foundation verse for this podcast is going to be Psalm 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And then all of our scripture that we're going to be working through is going to come from the book of James. And specifically, we're studying and coloring and journaling and puzzling our way through the book of James using Color Me James. And one of my favorite parts of this book is every week there's a QR code that takes you to a playlist. And every week we have a song specially crafted for the verse of that week. So you can pick that up in an ebook. The perfect binding is from Amazon, and then the spiral binding, you can get that from my website. So lots of different choices for you, whatever your pleasure. If you're a coloring person, though, I would highly recommend the spiral bound version because that you can like flip open and lay flat. All right, so here's the song I was talking about.
Like a lifeline from a shipwrecked faith, but it showed me who I couldn't be and who I was without your grace. Righteous words, holy code, but it couldn't break these chains I wore. I needed more than what I knew. I needed you to open the door. But whoever catches a glimpse of the revealed counsel of God, the free life, even out of the corner of his eye, and sticks with it, is no distracted, scatterbrain, but a man or woman of action. That person will find delight and affirmation in the action.
All right, and I'll let you get on Spotify and check out the rest of that Every week it amazes me how God puts together the song and the lyrics for our verse. I was working with my mom and she was like, I do not know how you are going to put the word affirmation and what was the other one? Scatterbrain into a song. So, it's not me, it's God putting it together. Okay, so this week, our verse is going to be anyone who sets himself up as a religious by talking a good game is self-deceived. This kind of religion is hot air and only hot air. Real religion, the kind that passes muster before God, the Father, is this. Reach out to the homeless and the loveless in their plight and guard against corruption from the godless world. So I'm guessing there's going to be a little angst in the song for this week. So we'll see how God divinely touches that and makes that plan out. So you'll see the graphics this week will come out like tomorrow, Saturday, so that you can use those as a flashcard to help you memorize that verse. And just love the colorful nature of all of these images. All right. Well, if I can maybe get it to change. There we go. And so today we're going to be using two different palettes. One of them is the Afro Galactic. And I truly love this palette. It has some great shades in there. There's mattes, there's shimmers, there's light, there's dark. This is for the makeup wearer that's maybe a little bit more daring, or you want just a little bit of punch of color. So you could match this with like maybe the Nudes palette or the Dusty Rose, and that would balance it out now. Now, the other one that we're going to be using is also a Juvia's Place. That'll be in the show notes later. We're also going to be using I Love Ice, and that's a Juvia's Place palette as well. So just a couple of things for you to be able to play with. But of course, as always, use what you have. One of my theories and premise and points and encouragement here is do not go out and just buy everything. I mean, you can if God bless you with finances that way. But especially in light of the verse that we've got this week, wouldn't it be better to use what you have and take that $20, $40 you would have spent on a palette and give that to some sort of homeless charity? I know here in my neck of the woods, we have the Ellis County Homeless Coalition, and I can guarantee you they would make good use of that donation to their organization. All right, so verse is scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Let me get the chat pulled up again. There we go. Y'all are being a little quiet again. So let me know where you're coming from. How did your week go? Did you do anything fun? Let me see if I can get my camera there. And the answer is yes, I did get my hair trimmed. So here we go. We are gonna, hey, India. So we're going to start out with the Professional Matte Primer, and this is just going to give us I was going to say a foundation, but that's not really good word. It's just going to give us a great surface for applying all of our makeup, and you just got to drop the lid. Okay, it's a Monday, Thursday. Here we go. So we're going to, we can get it out of there. There we go. Ta-da! Just about that much there. That is going to do your whole face. So we're going to work it between the tips of our fingers. And then wherever you experience maybe makeup separation, maybe you got, if you got a little dry patch, this will help with that. If you've got some oily patches, which is where most likely that makeup separation is coming from. Fine lines, wrinkles. So I'm going to really get that around the eye. You don't want to work it too much, but you want to get it where you want it. And then, especially around your lips, you saw me do that while we were doing this. That is going to help the wearability, sustainability of your lipstick. And I don't know about you, but my thing is I want to put it on in the morning, and then I don't want to think about it the rest of the day. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, we're also going to be playing with a new setting powder today. So I know maybe I shouldn't try these things live, but it's fun. So we're going to do a new setting powder and see how we like that. Okay, so let us get our Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. I am the shade 11 Light Nude. Whatever your shade, if you're not sure, get to your nearest Ulta. They will shade match you. You want this between 1 to 2 shades lighter than what your foundation is. That way you're kind of elevating the area before you put your foundation on. So we're gonna get that just in those big spots. I am using my middle finger because it is not as strong as the pointer finger, which would tug and pull on those tender eye area. We don't want to add wrinkles while we're trying to hide wrinkles. Okay, and we're just gonna kind of glump that where we want it. That, yes, my dears, is the technical term, glumping. Okay. And oh, yay! That's awesome. Well, wonderful. So we are going to be using the Juvia's Place JP102 flat rounded brush. When I was a kid, if you asked me what was my favorite color, I would have told you my favorite color was blue. So today makes me think of my childhood favorite color. It's not that I don't like blue now. I just have an expensive palette. And in fairness of diversity, equity, and inclusion, I like every color except gray. I just can't do gray. Gray is not hot. It's not cold. It's wishy-washy in the middle. It has no strength. It's like, what is this? So, I just don't like gray. Okay. There are certain shades of gray that I can tolerate, and I do love the Grace palette from Juvia's Place. Anyways, let's get on with what we're doing here. So we're using that JP102, and now that concealer has had a chance to just set for a second, not all concealers are this way, but this one is. Does better for blending out if you let it warm up to your body temperature, just a smidge. So now we're just going to use that wide flat end of this brush, and we are going to blend that out. Getting it over onto that eyelid so it can be our primer. We do have a lot of color going to be happening today. Oh, I'm so excited though, because there are now this isn't a 70s blue eyeshadow look or anything, but it is a nice blue. And one of my favorite shades in the Afro Galactic palette is that blue called Orbit. Oh my gosh, it's just spectacular. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get all our foundation stuff down, and then we are going to spend some time playing in some blues with that Afro Galactic and I Love Ice. Now we're going to be using, let me put the lid back on. There we go. This is a Lancome Tinty Dole, and this is going to be, for me, the shade 225 and Neutral. I was just at Ulta, and I think they've got some kind of point multiplier thing going on. So if you love the Lancome foundation as well, I don't know how long that lasts, but get over there and take advantage of that. Oh, so I just had a comment. I didn't realize my eyes were hooded until now. So I guess the question would be then, how do you know if you have hooded eyes? So I'll just answer it now because I may forget if we go on. So you can see, I'm gonna get a little closer here. When I look forward, you can see this part of the eye is kind of, I don't want to play with it too much. I'll make it pop up. But you can see, you can barely see the bottom part of my lid at all. Like when I open my eyes, it disappears. You can't even see what's there. But then I have this nice large real estate right here. So this is a hood over that. So this is called hooded eyes. You've got like a fleshy here. And it sometimes can be people who are overweight will develop this if they get like extra fatty tissue up here, but that is not what that means. That can be that, but it's most likely not. It just has to do with the shape of your eye. You have more real estate here above the fold of your eye than you have down here below the fold of your eye. So we're going to do a couple things that are going to kind of, a lot of times what happens is you do all this wonderful eyeshadow work and then nobody can see it unless you walk around like this. So what we're going to do is play with the eyeshadows today, which will help open up that eye. And then also all the beautiful work that you've done will be able to be seen. I know, it's win-win. Okay, so back to our Lancome Tinty Doll. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a shake because this is not the new one I just bought. We're just trying to use this one up. We're just going to give a pump of that. And that is going to do the bottom part of our face here. We're just going to kind of blop it in place. Yes, another technical term. And then we're going to blend that out. Then we're going to get right under the edge of that chin so that it blends out seamlessly to our neck. And we're just going to work up to that concealer let that concealer do its job by peeking through. So really our foundation's only going to about right here, and we're just blending it in. That way the area that we elevated under the eye stays elevated, but then we'll set the whole thing here in just a minute. I'm making sure that I get around my lips, using the nice edge of this to go around the nose. I just love this brush. Okay, then we're gonna get another, like a partial pump there. And we're gonna, well, I would hold my hair back, but there's not really anything there. Okay, so then we're going to put the foundation up here. We're gonna use that nice flat edge and just work that into that hairline so that it's blended out beautifully. Get around your brows. Make sure you get a nice blend right there between the eyes and this area. Here we go. Also, don't forget about your temple. Make sure you get that temple blended out too. Okay. Sometimes, if you experience any streaking at all, like maybe you drug your brush, just give it some light stipply taps, and that will get rid of that. For whatever reason, I had just a tiny bit of that on the tip of my nose. There we go. I like to take the edge of that and go under the eye. If you have any foundation or concealer that is kind of settled before you set it, it will get rid of that and remedy that. Okay. Now we are all blended out. Let us play with our new setting powder. So to start out with, I'm going to be using this right here. They had two sizes of this, and I opted to go with the smaller one. This is the I Am Magic Pyramid Puff, and this is the smaller of the two. So we're just going to open that up. Here we go. I love these because it's got this little right here. You can really get around the eye area, and it keeps everything from fluffing out into the atmosphere. Then we're going to be using this right here. This is the I Am Magic Silky Finishing Powder. I chose the color, the coconut flakes. It's like, I think the third lightest or something like that. It seemed like the best option, so we'll see here in just a second. But again, this is the Juvia's Place. This is called Coconut Flakes. We're probably going to need to take a little disc. Yeah. So right on the top here, you've got a little disc that's keeping it from getting powder all up in there while you haven't bought it yet. Be careful while you take this out. Wow. Okay, so now I'm wearing powder. There we go. So we're going to put the lid back on. Maybe. There we go. We're going to tip it upside down and just give it a couple of little shakes here. There we go. Okay, maybe a couple less shakes than what I just did. Okay. So I like to start around the eye area. So I'm just going to dip that tip right in there. Let's get a little bit on both sides. Okay, it does feel very silky. Okay, I like it so far. And then I'm gonna switch it around to where I've got the wide puff on there. I have dipped it in and then tapped it off. And then you're just gonna press it in. It has a different smell to it. Not bad, just different. You know how much I love the smell of the setting spray. I was just kind of hoping it smelled like that. Okay, we're going to set it in again. We're going to tap it off again. Yeah, I think this was a good color call. I just looked at the other one and they were just very, very pale. And while I am pale, I don't think I'm that pale. Nice. We're just going to press that in. We'll have to see throughout the day how this performs with my combo skin and with the aging skin. What does it do with fine lines and wrinkles? So, oh gosh, I wish I had like a news reporting sound to cue. You know. Oh. So I'll report later on how this performed. What is going on today? Okay. It feels nice. It feels very lightweight. Doesn't really, which you don't want it to. It's just a setting powder, but doesn't have no coverage or anything like that. But I do like the cast. It's what I would call a soft matte. It's not like super harsh. Blurred, really nice. Okay, I have high hopes. Okay, so now that we're all one color, we are going to add our contouring in. So I'm going to grab my KVD Shade Light Refillable Contour Palette, and then our contouring brushes. And we are going to be living in this space here. I know I need to find where to get these from. These here, and then we're going to just dip in that one just a little teeny bit. I am using the dual-ended. This is a foundation brush from It Cosmetics. We're going to use this end here. We're going to go right here. And then that's going to go from the ear, kind of in a curved right to the edge of the eye there. And I'm also trying some new allergy drops in the hopes that my eyes will not water as much during our episode. I'm using a new powder and I'm testing allergy drops. So, wow, might have been a bit much for today, but okay. We're still going to use that flat part here. We're going to go right up into that hairline. Just blend a little bit of that up in there. Kind of using circular motions. Now I'm going to switch to the flat, skinny side of that. We're going to go from the ear to the corner of the mouth. Keep a neutral face so you're getting right under that chin. And then keeping with that side, we're going to go from the corner of the eye and the nose on both sides. That is going to narrow that nose. And then we're going to right under the tip. If you have a skinny nose, you probably don't need to do that. Let's see. We're going to take the tip of this. We're just going to tap. We're going to go right here on the outside corner of that and just give a little more definition. And now for the light. We're going to take kind of the edge of this side and get it in that light. We're going to go on the top of the cheek, right beside the eye socket. Okay, and while we're doing this, I want you all to think about something because I debated. There's a beautiful glitter in the I Love Ice. To glitter or not to glitter? That is the question. Okay. And then I'm just going to come back with that bronzer in and just make sure that's nice. There we go. So we've got the low, we've got the high. Now let's add a tiny bit of color in there. So I'm going to grab my MAC Brush Blush and my Juvia's Place Volume 4. We're going to have things happening. So we're going to go with the lighter color in this Volume 4 right here. Because it would be a little overwhelming and there'd be a little too much on the face if we go with the darker one. Although I love it, it's a little too much for today. So we're going to grab that blush brush, just to give a little in there. We're going to go between the bronzer and the highlighter, and then between the bronzer and the highlighter. You can do that same thing on the other side. Then we're going to go right up here onto that bronzer, tip of the nose, whatever's left, tip of the nose, the chin right there. And that is just going to kind of round out the color and, unify the face. Okay, so there we go. And to glitter or not to glitter. Whether to suffer things in air. So true about that. The one bad thing about glitter is you do risk the fallout. But the great thing about glitter is that you got something shiny and sparkly to fall out. So I know it's a hidden English teacher joke. Okay, I am using the Luxe liner and this is in Wine. This is going to be our lips. Actually, before we start our lips, let's go ahead and say our verse together. That should be scrolling across your screen. Anyone who sets himself up as religious by talking a good game is self-deceived. This kind of religion is hot air and hot air only. Real religion, the kind that passes muster before God the Father, is this: reach out to the homeless and loveless in their plight, and guard against corruption from the godless world. James 1:26 and 27. So the measure of a man, when you look at someone who says that they are a Christian, a believer, these are some of the fruit that you are looking for. If you hear lots of good words and you don't see some of this fruit, you know, only God knows, but it's not looking good. All right, so we're going to grab that Juvia's Place. This is a Lux liner. This is in wine. I'm just going to twist that up just a little bit. And we're going to do, let me think. No, we're just going to traditional ombre from the inside out. So we're going to start out with just lining the lips normal. And you know, we're going to overline. We're going to grab a little bit of real estate from the bare outside of that lip. So your head at this point should be telling you, oh my gosh, you're lining outside of your lip. You're in the right space. Here we go. Okay, my chair is doing something weird here. So if all of a sudden I disappear, it's because my chair threw me. Okay, we're just going to get us a little starting point right there. And we're going to round that out to the outside edge. Okay, take a look back. Make sure you like your line. Okay, and now we're going to take just the tip of our finger and we're just going to drag right on that line. Today I want to see a little more of the snob than normal. Yeah, snob is the name of the lipstick. Correct. Okay, so we have a chiming in. The answer is always yes, glitter. There is no question. Okay. And for those of you who are being a little quiet today, feel free to chime in and give us your vote. I'm going to be using the MAC. This one is called the Maximal Matte Lipstick, and this is Snob. So we're going to start out in the center and then work out to the outside so the center stays nice and clean. And I would say bright pink, but this really isn't a bright pink, but clear, clean pink. And then blend that out to that lipstick liner on the outside. So center first. Using this particular technique is going to help your lips look more full. So we're not going to leave it like that, though. Hang on. So now we've done the centers. Now we're going to work from the edge of that over that lip liner. So now just line that over the lip liner. Let that lipstick edge do the job for you. There we go. Yes, it is a beautiful color. That is for sure. This is called Snob. When this one came out as part of their Maximal Matte, so they reformulated, and when they did, they came out with a couple of extra shades. So now you have a matte that's not so drying. Prior to this formulation, the MAC lipsticks, great, awesome, but they did dry out a little bit. And so, like making your lips feel a little bit dry. So they reformulated, and now it doesn't do that. But the Snob, man, we couldn't hardly get that inside. I mean, keep it. As soon as we get it in, it would get purchased. And so it was a little bit difficult. I mean, I was even the store manager and I couldn't even get one for my own self. Okay, so now let the fun begin. What are we going to be playing with today? So I mentioned we're going to be in the Afro Galactic palette. And so in Afro Galactic, we are going to be using Spirit and we're going to be using Orbit right here. Look at that. I know, right? The crowd goes wild. Okay, so we're going to be using those. And then we're going to be using the I Love Ice because we need a little diversity in the lights and the mediums. And we're going to be using this one right here and then this one right here. So a total of 4 shades today. And we're going to go a little bit back and forth between the palettes as, oh, you know what? I forgot. Also, in this one, we're going to use the, what's that called? Stars. Just like a smidge so we can get a little intensity on the outside. But that's like literally just a little tiny, tiny bit. But must mention it because we are going to be using. So I guess we're doing 5 shades. And then if we're going to count the glitter, that will be 6. Okay, so, you know, I try to do simple things and it just doesn't stay that way. So onward and upward, I'm going to grab the Morphe M441. We're going to grab the Afro Galactic palette first. We're going to go into that Spirit. You can tell I love it because look how well it's used. And we're going to go right up here on that brow bone, right on that eye socket right there. And this is just going to give us a fleshy color to blend into. So if you have darker pigment than I do, you might consider solar. While that is a matte, that would be pretty. You could even do the solar first and then put a little of the Spirit on there so you get a little bit of that shimmer going. Don't be afraid to mix colors. So we're going to go Spirit here. Oh, you know what else might be pretty? If you have darker pigment, you might also really like, no, the Bologna might be, yeah, you could try the Bologna. It might be a little too goldy, so be gentle with it. Maybe Spirit and Bologna together. Okay, so we're going to go there. We're getting that up there. We're going to set that brush aside. And then we are going to get, I'm actually just going to do just a blending shadow brush. And this one is a MAC something. Just a regular brush. We're going to go into, let me get this over here. There we go. We're going to get only on one side. We want to minimize the amount of fallout that we can have, especially because this is a dark color. So we're just going to do shadow on one side. We're going to go in Orbit and just a little bit. We're going to go on the inside. And we're going to make a V right here. There you go. And then we're going to V over here. So we've got a V of openness left in the middle. And you don't need to be like, you know, extremely obsessive about it. I'm going to take just the tip of this brush and I'm going to do just a little line. Don't worry, we'll blend it out. So we're just leaving a hole in the middle. Now, here's what we're going to make sure. When we do this here, when you look forward, you want to be able to see that blue you put at the top of that opening. You want to be able to see that above the fold of your eye right now. So we're going to use up some of this real estate happening up here. So you got a hole in the middle, but when you look forward, you can see that blue peeking up. Okay, now do that same thing on the other side. So we're going to get right there in the middle. We're going to give a V. Then we're going to V it over here. right on that tip. And then make sure that both the sides are the same elevated height upward. Now we are going to blend this out in a minute, so hang tight with me, hang tight with me. If you do experience any fallout at this point, just grab your fluffy brush. Go ahead and get that off of there. What is this? This is a MAC, I want to say 187, could possibly be 167. Okay, so we're going to not use the stars just yet. We're going to do that at the very end. So where we are right now, we're going to grab our I Love Ice. We're going to grab another just shading brush. And I'm going to go in this medium right here. Again, on one side. And fill in that spot we left open. Okay, and don't worry too much about blending it out right now. We're not quite ready for that. I am going to grab a smudger. This is going to be this one right here from Morphe. This is a M508. Staying with that I Love Ice. We're going to go in this light one right here. And again, you're just getting it on the inside tip of that. We're going to add that right on the inside here. And then I'm going to take it and I'm just going to put a little, almost in a line, just right down that. Okay. And we're going to go back to the medium blue brush that we used, and we're just going to kind of go over the edge of those. Nice. Okay. We're going to take a, I'm going to do a blending. This is a Morphe M506. This one's one of the smaller blenders. We want to give a nice soft edge to that blue up there. So I'm going to grab this one and I'm going to swirl this just on the tip into the medium blue that we used. And we're going to go the brush halfway between, well, we put Spirit up here and then, what was that other one called? Orbit, I think. We're just going to go right on that Spirit Orbit joint right there and just go back and forth until that softens a little bit. There we go. And that's also going to help bring it up a little bit and use up some of that real estate you got up here for those wide, fleshy areas on hooded eyes. Okay. Now, I think I want a little more lift and elevation of color. So I'm going to take the tip of my finger right here, and I'm just going to put it right there on that center. Let's just give that a little more vibrancy. There we go. Okay, we're going to do the glitter part last. So hang on. We're going to do that very last. So let's go ahead and take the smudger that we were using. We're going to do the under eye area. So under the eye, first we're going to start out with the darker. So we're going to grab that orbit just on the tip there, right here on the outside. Go about halfway in. And we want to bring that down just a little, and then we're going to go up around the corner. There you go, and then just up around the corner. Now I want a little punch on the outside corner. So while we've got this brush out, we're just going to take a little bit in the stars. We're going to go right here on that outside corner and just give a little something. And then we're going to just ever so slightly tap it and give it a little bit right there on that outside corner. So do that again on the other side. Just a little tap here. I feel like that side was more than that side, so let's even it out. And then just a little bit right here. Now you can see Wendy's hand might have gone a little cray over here. So I'm gonna grab the blue that I had used, and we're just gonna blend that little crazy out. There we go. So now we got a little more punch power on the outside corners. I'm just going to make sure I don't have any fallout happening. I didn't see any, but you know. So we're going to take either get another smudger or on the napkin or tissue or whatever you got in your lap, because you should, because you never know when stuff's going to fall or when you need to wipe something off. So we're going to take this, and then we're going to go back to the I Love Ice. We're going to go into that medium, and then we're going to go into that light. So just on the tip, hit that middle right there. I mean, don't hit, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, right there on that light. We're going to just bring that light over all the way. Okay. So now we've got that going on. Let's do our liner. We'll do our brows, and then we'll do the glitter. So I am going to grab the Killer Liner in black. This is from Too Faced. Right where we added that, oh gosh, what was the name of that shade? The dark one, whatever it is. We're going to line that halfway over, right to the middle of the V that you added. There you go. Now we're going to go about, I'm going to say a third of the way in on the outside corner on the bottom. And you don't really want to see, like you can see, you don't really want to see like a line. You just want a little bit of oomph there. There you go. Again, make sure. Whoop, whoop. Okay, now we are going to wear lashes today, so I'm going to give me a little insurance, and I'm going to grab the Too Faced, here, let me turn it this way for you, the Too Faced Better Than Sex liner. Give it a little shake, store that bad boy tip down, and we're just going to give a thin line on the top. Same thing on the other side. So just a little insurance as we put our lashes on. Whew, I had to turn my air conditioner off because it was blowing on the microphone and making a very weird sound. And now it's getting warm in here. But a testament, look at that setting powder. While I feel shiny on the inside, it is not shiny on the outside. I'm already liking it. And I just want to make sure this is blended here because it feels funky. Okay, there we go. Now, while our liquid liner is drying, grab your brow product, whatever that may be. I am using the Bad Gal Bang, and this is in the shade Wild Plum. Let me get that over there. There we go. And we are just going to do our brow. If you need help at all, get to your nearest Ulta and to their brow bar, the Benefit Brow Bar, and have them shape your brow. You know, I got my haircut the other day. I should have had my brows done too. Anyways, have them shape your brow. If you do not love your brow product or how your brows look when they're done, show them a picture of what you want, and they'll help you find the right product to get the look that you want, and then they'll show you how to use it. So it is a beautiful situation. They can do threading, they can do waxing, they'll do brow mapping, all kinds of everything brow. They're all about brows, hence the name, the Brow Bar. All right. I just saw they've got a new Hoola bronzer in there too. So if you're a lover of the Hoola bronzer, you should go check out that new one. I was intrigued, but it is a cream bronzer, and I usually shy away from those because when you have combo skin, you already get enough of that creamness happening. So I don't know, maybe I'll test it out one day. Yesterday was not that day. Okay, so now we have got that going on. Let's go ahead and let's lash first. Let's lash first, and then we'll do the glitter. Okay, so you can see now what it would look like if you didn't add the glitter. You've got that nice lift right there in the center. So when you look forward, you can see that blue above the fold of your eye. You can see my dark coming out there. That is going to make your eye appear more open and also take away the appearance of all that hooded eye that you have going on. So we are going to need to curl our lashes, but alas, I did not bring a lash curler over here, so we're not curling them for me today. Okay, I am going to be using the Bad Gal Bang Mascara. You go ahead and curl your lashes, though. And yes, the answer is I do still love, what was the name of that lash curler I got? That heated one from, I'll think of it in a second. It's not Glamnetics. They do a brow product called, oh man. They have an end cap in the store. Anyways, I don't remember the name of it, but it's a heated lash curler and I am loving it. I'll think of the name in a second. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Aw. Okay, so this is the Bad Gal Bang. This is the black shade, and I'm going to use this. This is water resistant, so great for a nice combo with the false lashes. So we're just going to give, because my lashes are kind of invisible, but yet they look nice and white, cleary, blah, in front of false lashes. We're just going to give one coat of mascara just so that my lashes are black. If you have black lashes already, stop bragging. And you can probably avoid this step. It's kind of funny though. Look how just doing that one coat of mascara already changes the eye. Okay, so just one coat. This will, if you do the mascara on your eye too, whether you have black lashes or not, this will help give you a little more volume. So if you enjoy a nice voluminous lash, there you go. There's your word. Then this will definitely help with that. I just like how it also helps your lashes, I think, kind of grab in and mesh in with the false lashes a little bit better when they've got a little, something substantive on them. What is with these big syllable words? Here we go. Okay, now the bottom is not going to get a false lash, so we're going to do that one like regular. So we're just going to go from the tip to the root. And I did just get a new one of these the other day, but I did not pull it out. So, and I found a magnifying mirror. Yay! Even when I was younger, I liked to use a magnifying mirror when doing my lashes just because it helps you be able to see close up better. So if you use one as well, I even keep one in my purse all the time. I don't know about you. It always seems like something weird happens when you go out somewhere and it's like, where's my magnifying mirror? Okay, so now we're going to do the bottom lash on the other side as well. You know, though, you get so used to holding a mirror a certain way, and then when you get a new one, it's like, you don't work right. Because I can't. Oh my gosh. Okay, making sure I get all the way to that outside corner. There we go. Okay. So now we've got those bottom lashes done. And while I was in there, I noticed that you can close up see a tiny bit of fallout on the bottom. So let me show you a little secret. So this brush has been, they changed it. But this brush is on my website. I call this the magic bullet because I love the shape of this. So I'm going to take this. I'm just going to set it a little bit in that setting powder, tap it out. Go right under here. And if you see any fallout that your brush did not catch, you can literally erase it with this. It just cleans it up so beautifully. And I love the point on it because you can get right in there. It's also great for going around under the nose. Okay. So we're gonna set that aside. Now we've got that all cleaned up. Yay! So what lashes are we doing today? I am going back to my favorite. Well, no, it's not the Zaria. It's not my favorite. It's my favorite. This is the Juvia's Place Nubian Lash, and this one is the Egypt Light. What do I love about this one? So this one, the only thing I don't like about it is it's not a flare, because I just love flares. But I love the unevenness of the lashes here, because you get a great, this one's in medium volume, you get a great full, but you get a very kind of natural looking because it's got a little bit uneven, but not crazy in it. So Juvia's Place, if you are listening, because they reach out to me from time to time, do this one, do an Egypt like flare. And once upon a time they had, I want to say it was an Egyptian flare, and that was my favorite, but I have not seen that one in quite some time. Okay, so I'm going to take my lashes. I'm going to take my lash tool. I'm going to grab that lash right there in the middle. We took it off our tray. We're sitting in front of us. We're just going to take a look at the lash and make sure that everything is all clear and good to go. We don't got anything funky going on. If you have any like residue that maybe you missed when you were cleaning the lash, you can go ahead and get that off now. Usually the just kind of the edge of your thumb, scraping it off will work just beautifully. I am going to be using the Allure. This is the 18-hour lash glue. So we're going to grab that lash right there in the middle. There we go. And we're going to take the wand and it's going to go on the top. That did not feel like it had any stuff in there. There we go. We're going to go on the top with that clear adhesive. And then we're going to put it in again, and we're going to change that band over, and we're going to get it right on the back side of that band. Just insurance for it doing what it needs to do. This, again, is a clear lash adhesive. And so it's going to go on, and it's going to look kind of white to begin with. And then once it starts to dry, you're going to notice it's going to get a little bit clear, and that is when it will be ready to go. I'm going to set that in front of me. We're going to do that same thing on the other lash band. So right there on the top of that lash band. And then we're going to put that in and get it right there on the back side of that lash band. You want to make sure that you pay special attention to those outside corners, because where are you most likely to get lift? On the outside corners. So we're just going to set that down in front of us. And we'll chit chat for a second while we're waiting on that one. I always keep a lash adhesive in my purse because you just never know when something crazy is going to happen. So that way, if you need to, just pull that lash down a little bit right in here and give you a little dot. Press on with your day. Okay, so we're going to take that first lash we did. We're going to grab the two outside corners. We're just going to roll it a little bit so that it is nice and soft, ready to go. I'm going to grab the lash. It's not quite clearish up on me, so let me do this. Just a little fan is going to help that dry a little bit faster. And you can see where there's some spots already starting to get a little bit clear. That's when you know that your adhesive is ready to go. So we're going to set that right in the middle on that liner line that you put in there. Okay, and evidently my tool has decided, you know what? I think I want to stay holding on to that. There we go. Okay, it's going to be one of them days. I told you, it's a Monday, Thursday. Here we go. So we're going to grab the inside edge and put that right there on that. What are we doing here? There we go. Going to grab that inside edge, put that right on that liner line. There you go. Going to grab the outside edge, put that on that liner line. There we go. We're just going to make sure everybody is in the same happy living space by pressing right there. And what weirdness is that? Hold on. There we go. Evidently, a couple of my lashes decided to sneak out. I don't think I've ever had that happen. I'm telling you, weird things happen. There we go. So a couple of my lashes got behind the lash band and were poking between the lash band and the eyelid. You know, stuff happens. So just pick it up, pull the lashes out. Well, I mean, not out, but to the correct side, and then just put it back. So no need to worry, no need to stress. Stuff happens, just get it fixed. Okay, there you go. Now you can see the difference between the two sides and what a difference the eye thing makes. Wow, you know what? I just realized I think I've only tapped my eye like one time with this allergy stuff. So yay, maybe it's working. So we're going to take this lash band. We're going to do that same thing. Roll it around a little. Grab it in the middle. And set it on that line. There we go. That side was much more behaved. Thank you, thank you. Gonna get it right there on that liner line. On the other side. Make sure our lashes are bonded with, well, not bonded, but you know, having a happy coexistence with the false lashes. Work that tip in there. Nice. Okay, there you go. And now we have some beautiful false lashes on that beautiful blue that we've got going on. You can see we've got that nice light shimmer right there in the middle. And then we've got that beautiful orbit blue on the outside with that stars, just giving us a hint of dimension on the outside. But let's just say you were going somewhere and you wanted just a little punch of something. So let's go back to our Live I Love Ice. And your call where you want to put this, because I personally think glitter can go everywhere. But for today, I'm going to work, and so I wanted a little crazy, but not too crazy. So I'm just going to use the tip of my finger. This is my middle finger. I'm going to go in this glitter right here, and it's just nice and soft, and you can see it transfers easy. So, you know, be careful. And I'm going to go right here on the middle. Ooh, oop. There you go, right there. I'm going to go about halfway, and I'm just going to put that glitter on the outside edge where the blue is meeting that nice spirit color. And let's just put that right there like that. Oh, yes. Okay, can you see that? Yes. So if I was going out for an evening, I might add a little bit of that right here on the top of the cheek, maybe a little more sparkly with a brush. And I also see where I may have gone a little crazy right here. That's okay. There we go. Oh, yes. That's just so pretty. Okay, so there we go. We've got this now. So you can see we've got a lot of pow happening up here, and then we've toned that down just a little bit to come down to the face with a fairly neutral lip, but it's got a little bit of color there. That pink balances out that blue nice. You can see for those hooded eyes, you can see that blue above there, so that eye is really opened up. When you close your eye, you can see we've taken advantage of that real estate, and we've got that nice V of that medium and light blue in there. And then we've added that little accessorizing of that glitter on the outside. So that we want it to stay all day, right? We've done all this work, and now we want it to just be beautiful and last. So I'm going to grab my Juvia's Place, ready, set, sealed. I'm going to give that a little bit of a shake. Yeah, I wish the powder smelled like that. Oh, that smells so good. I know. Okay, so now we are set and we are ready to go for whatever it is that we've got going on, depending on your time of the day of where you are. So let's go ahead now that we are finished here. I look forward to seeing pictures of what you have done, what palettes you used, how did your look come out? Did you use the glitter? Did you not use the glitter? Did you wear false lashes? Did you not? Shoot me your pics. And YouTube, you can send me a video comment and let me see how your look came out. I love to see how you use what you've learned today. So you can see me and visit with me throughout the week on my website, a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com, on social media as well. And let's go ahead and take a look. We are in week 11. Can you believe it? We are almost finished with chapter 1 of James. So let's take a look at, well, actually, let's say the verse together, which just now is rolling around. So this week's verse: anyone who sets himself up as religious by talking a good game is self-deceived. This kind of religion is hot air and only hot air. Real religion, the kind that passes muster before God the Father, is this: reach out to the homeless and loveless in their plight and guard against corruption from the godless world. James 1, 26 and 27. Ooh, I can't wait to work on that song. So, all right, let's take a look now at our verses and get a little bit of, I didn't start at the beginning. Okay, there you go. Ta-da! Okay. I, James, am a slave of God and the Master Jesus, writing to the 12 tribes scattered to kingdom come. Hello. Let me see if it'll flick over. Okay, there we go. Okay, consider it a sheer gift, friends. And when tests and challenges come at you from all sides, you know that under pressure, your faith life is forced into the open and shows its true colors. So don't try to get out of anything prematurely. Let it become mature, well-developed, not deficient in any way. And I cannot help saying that without thinking about that song. But alas, that's kind of a rappy song, so I'm not going to do it that way. Party, oh. Okay. And then if you don't know what you're doing, ask the Father. He loves to help. And you, ask the Father. He loves to help, and you won't be condescended to when asking for it. Ask boldly, believingly, without a second thought. People who worry their prayers are like wind-whipped waves, adrift at sea, keeping, don't think you're going to get anything out of the Father that way. Adrift at sea, keeping all your options open. All right. When down and outers get a break, cheer. And when the arrogant and rich are cut down to size, cheer. Prosperity is as short-lived as a wildflower, so don't ever count on it. You know as soon as the sun rises, pouring down its scorching heat, the flower withers, the petals wilt, and before you know it, that beautiful face is a barren stem. Well, that's a picture of the prosperous life. At the very moment, everyone is looking on in admiration. It fades away to nothing. Oh, the name of the song, fades away to nothing. Okay, let's see. Anyone who meets a testing challenge head on is mighty fortunate. For such persons loyally in love with God, the reward is life and more life. Don't let anyone under pressure give in to evil say, God is trying to trip me up. God is impervious to evil and puts evil in no one's way. The temptation to give in to evil comes from us and only us. We have no one to blame but the leering, seducing flare-up of our own lust. Ooh, the song really does help. Lust gets pregnant and has a baby, sin. Sin grows up sin grows up to adulthood and becomes a real killer. Okay, so my very dear friends, okay, I'm not as good as this one. Don't get thrown off course. Every desirable and perfect gift comes from heaven. The gifts are a light cascading down from the Father of light. There is nothing deceitful in God, nothing two-faced, nothing fickle. He brought us to life using the true word, showing us off as the crown of all his creatures. Okay, post this at the intersections, dear friends. Lead with your ears, follow up with your tongue, and let anger straggle along in the rear. God's righteousness doesn't grow from human anger, so throw all spoiled virtue and cancerous evil out with the garbage. I was going to say out with the bathwater. Out with the garbage. In simple humility, let our gardener, God, landscape you with the word, making a salvation garden of your life. It gets a little harder as you go along, right? Okay, so don't fool yourself into thinking that you are a listener when you are anything but. Letting the word go in one ear and out the other. Act on what you hear. Those who glance in the mirror and walk away. What is it? They glance in the mirror and walk away, and they can't remember what they look like. Let's see, glance away. And 2 minutes later, they have no idea who they are or what they look like. I mean, I can get the punchline. It's just getting it in the right order. Okay, so, but whoever catches a glimpse of the revealed counsel of God, the free life, even out of the corner of his eye, and sticks with it, is no distracted scatterbrain. How could I forget that line? No distracted scatterbrain, but a man or woman of action. That person will find delight and affirmation in the action. And then we have our verse here. Anyone who sets, that one's a little hard for me to read, a little small. Let's see. Anyone who sets himself up as religious by talking a good game is self-deceived. The kind of religion is hot air and only hot air. Real religion, the kind that passes muster with God, the Father, is this: reach out to the homeless and loveless in their plight and guard against corruption in a godless world. So I look forward to working on that this week with you. That one is a fresh new one for this week. Okay, so again, all of the verses are coming from Color Me James, available in 3 different versions on the website. Oh, and a reminder that when you do the Cherished Queen membership on YouTube, you actually get the ebook for free. So go to YouTube and take a look at that. Let's see. So it's just my YouTube address, and then throw the /join at the end, and that will get you to it. Okay. So, again, Beauty and Grace Insider, we talked about that just a moment ago. There are 3 different membership levels. Again, the Cherished Queen is the one that gets you the free copy of the ebook. All right, so let me do a blessing over you, and then we'll pray. So, Numbers chapter 6, verses 24 through 26. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and give you peace. The Lord be gracious to you and lift up his countenance upon you. Oh, I guess he's giving you peace twice today. All right. Oh, Heavenly Father, how thankful I am for the ladies that have hung out with me and joined me here live today. I am just so thankful for them. And I pray that as we put on our makeup, we would be reminded that you are the creator of those colors. You are the creator of beauty. It stems from you. It comes from you. And may our lives be a reflection of your beauty and grace. Father, I just pray that you'd be with us this week as we are working through, week 11 of James chapter 1, that you would bless us, that you would help us to hide these words in our heart. And as much as possible, could you make it easy for us to remember, or easier for us to remember, for those who struggle with scripture memory like I do. Father, give us that extra measure of grace in our brains to keep that scripture at our forefront for ourselves and for, using those with others. I just pray that you would again just bless us and send us out this week. And I pray all this in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Well, it has been a delight to hang out with you this today. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week. I look forward to seeing you on social media. I look forward to seeing your video and picture comments. And I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day. Love you. Mwah. Goodbye. God bless.